How much do you know about your family tree?
Not a great deal, actually.
Have you ever researched it?
I haven't, but my cousin has. And she's looked into the family history of my mother's side of the family. And it'd be really interesting to find out what she's learned, really.
Is there someone in your family that you'd like to know more about?
Both my grandfathers. So my grandfather on my mother's side, he was a musician, professional musician, and travelled a lot during the war. And I think he made quite a lot of money because I've got lots of photographs of him with racing cars and motorbikes. I think he was a bit of a boy racer, so it'd be quite interesting to find out more about him. And my other grandfather on my father's side, I think he was a code breaker in the war, so he's got a bit of a secretive side that would be interesting to research.
How much do you know about your family tree?
I have to admit that I personally don't know all that much about my own family tree, really. A little bit. I probably can go back a couple of generations, maybe.
Have you ever researched it?
I haven't researched it personally, but my dad has. He's done some research on it, and I think my grandmother on my mother's side also did some research a while back.
Is there someone in your family that you'd like to know more about?
Yeah, probably my dad's mother. She was a single mum, basically, and she raised my dad on her own, and I think if she were alive now, I'd probably like to ask her a few more questions about what that was like and how she felt and what it was like growing up as well, because I think it would have been different for her.
How much do you know about your family tree?
I wouldn't say I know too much extensively about my family tree. I know I'm Polish and French Indian, but I only know up to my grandparents. I've never really researched into the history of my family or my family tree that much.
Is there someone in your family that you'd like to know more about?
Probably my grandfather on my father's side. He died when I was pretty young, and I know he had a lot of hobbies that I'd be interested in, but I didn't really get a chance to spend a lot of time with him. So.
How much do you know about your family tree?
I know a little bit about my family tree. We've done some research on my mother's side, less on my father's side, which is a bit of a mystery. My grandfather, in fact, he wrote his sort of memoirs of his childhood and his parents and grandparents, which I've kind of helped my mum type up. So I know about them. He was a chauffeur. His father worked as, I think, a footman in some country house. And his grandfather was, I think, something, I don't know what he did, but something like that, yeah.
Are there any other people in your family you'd like to know more about?
I'd like to know more about my father's side, because I take after my dad. Everyone says I look like him. And I don't really know much about his parents or his grandparents, so that would be interesting to find out about them.